Bam. Bye. I wash up book.
Oh, my face cannot even desirable. Welcome.
Why not? Lord have mercy. Smooth 98.1, love music, love life. On a hump of the week, Wednesday morning, you're tuned into the Smooth Breakfast. My name is Ayokunmi, and it's that time to get into the world of sports. Check out what's been making the rounds in the sporting world in the last 24 to 48 hours or thereabouts. Welcome along to the ride with us. And by us, I'm not alone. No, I'm never alone in the locker room because the one, the only, Tega Supreme is in the building. Tega, good morning to you.
Good morning. What is today now? Wednesday. Oh
Yes,
my goodness, so
Wednesday.
much has happened in the week.
Mm,
And that's why we are here. All right,
indeed.
so what do we have on the okay, yes, we have hey massacre yesterday. I
Eh,
cannot get over it. So we're going to talk about,
mm.
if you're a big boy,
There were two massacres actually.
if you're a big
Or
boy,
three.
yesterday was the day for you to fall. So we're going to talk about the big boys falling. Um, we'll touch a little bit on tennis and what's happening at the WTA.
Mm,
We're also going to talk about a report that has come out about the Olympics.
finally.
Yeah, so despite the fact that they removed minister, the report still stood. I like that kind of thing. Usually
Oh,
once
yes.
they remove a particular person, everything that he wanted to do goes along with
Phew.
him. But this one carried on, and the reports, well, a report is out. And so we're going to talk about that. All of that and more inside the locker room this morning. Of course, we must not talk without touching on the fact that let's move on.
Let's move on for now.
No, I've decided it's not my business, it's not my country. Let's move on.
Okay, I know what you mean. Let's move on. And we're moving on to let you know how you can be a part of the locker room this morning. You can send your messages on WhatsApp on 0809 444 0981. Studio line is 0201 4489981. You need to write that down somewhere. 0201 4489981. Have those numbers on speed dial. You need them because you tune into the locker room every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8:15 a.m. Also, we're streaming on YouTube. You can catch us at Smooth 981 FM Lagos. Look at me feeling all wintry, in my garb. That's what's going on.
And if I start getting cold, I'll just run outside.
I'll hold that down. I'll hold that down here. She won't go anywhere. Anyways, Tega, let's get right into the heart of the matter because you talked about that report concerning the Olympics. Now, that is one that got my attention, and we're diving right into the heart of that matter right off the bat. Now, a ministerial committee established by former sports minister John Eno has uncovered serious administrative failings within the Athletics Federation of Nigeria, the AFN, including the inactions of officials that led to Favour Ofili's non-registration for the women's 100 meters at the Paris 2024 Olympics.
Yeah, so you see, when I talk, they say, Tega, you like to just beat down on your country. When that thing happened, when Favour Ofili wasn't registered, I said two things. I said, yes, there's the incompetence of somebody,
Mm.
but even importantly, after it was announced that after she came out on social media that she just realized that she's not going, there were some people that came out to say, oh, we already knew about this 2 weeks ago. I'm like, how do you know about it 2 weeks ago and you did not alert the girl? What kind of hate do you have for the girl? And one former Olympian was amongst those that came out. I will not mention names, but one former Olympian was the one that came out, was one of the people that came out to say, and I said, and I asked him, do you hate the girl? He said that she knows the country she comes from.
What does that even mean?
She should have sat on somebody said. I was like, how? And that is the problem. If a former Olympian is saying that failing is on the athlete, when an athlete did what she knew, what she was supposed to do. She came back into the country. She doesn't live in Nigeria. Came back into the country, did all her qualifications for the event, passed all her drug tests, did all her out of what's it called, out of is the act of activity drug test, the one that they, all the tests you need,
Okay.
and then waited for her federation to submit her name. You are now saying she should be waking up in the morning, uncle, please don't forget to put my name on. Please, have you put
That
my
is
name?
that's
What you,
ridiculous.
that, because in your own opinion, she knows the country she comes from. And if that's an ex-Olympian and he's now in some position of administration,
Oh dear.
they're saying that,
Oh
you
dear.
can imagine what it is, and it's ridiculous. So this report that came out, I like the fact that it punished the guy in charge of right, sending the names to the World Athletics Federation, but it also punished a lady that knew that her name was omitted and did not say anything until it was too late. So it didn't just punish the person that was incompetent, it punished the person that saw it and said, not concern me.
You're also culpable.
You're also culpable. Because, and it's what I tell people, you say, oh, I'm not the one that did it, but you watched as it was done, you're culpable. You cannot say you couldn't have reported. You are culpable. You're part of the problem. So the two people that they have named in the report, we are waiting to see what the punishment will be. If you ask me, fire them.
I mean, you shouldn't think twice about.
Don't think twice about it. Fire them and make sure that you don't give them any recommendation letter. Let them be fired and let the world know what they did. Try to derail a young girl's career.
I mean, it was utterly embarrassing and disgraceful the way the whole thing
happened. At some point, I really didn't believe that anything was going to happen, because you know that sometimes that's how these things happen. Nobody is held accountable. But I like the fact that on this the committee that released it, half of the panel were my senior colleagues, because I know it was moving around that eventually wrote the or read out the report.
Okay.
Yeah. I know some of my other colleagues, senior colleagues that were here, and they made sure they followed it down to the T. They're like, we're going to get the person. So I'm just waiting to hear the punishment that the sports ministry will give these two people. As far as I'm concerned, sack them. No, there's no cause for, oh, let's give them an opportunity to sack them. They wanted to derail this girl's career, and then after they were caught, they lied about it.
They didn't feel any remorse.
No remorse
whatsoever.
Sack them. That's my own.
We're going to keep our eyes on that one, of course. As developments arise, we definitely will bring them to your attention right here in the locker room. All right, so let's talk a little bit about tennis. Now, Coco Gauff confirmed her semi-final spot at the WTA finals with a rare win over defending champion Iga Swiatek. I mean, Coco Gauff probably will be having a party like a certain American right now. I won't mention any names, but I think you know exactly what it is.
Yes, but yeah. So if there was a time for Coco Gauff to beat Iga Swiatek, it was now. Remember when Coco Gauff beat Iga Swiatek towards the end of last season? Iga Swiatek was also going through a down period in her when it came to her performance. I'm not saying that Iga Swiatek cannot beat Coco Gauff cannot beat Iga Swiatek on her best days, but so far she has taken advantage of her good moments. Iga Swiatek is going down at the moment, Coco Gauff is rising, and this defeat happens. Otherwise, this has been such a one-sided, it's not even a rivalry, a one-sided competition between the two.
Serena and Sharapova.
It's just that these beatings have been happening a little less consecutively now for Iga Swiatek. So she lost yesterday, and it was clear so many unforced errors still coming from her. So remember, she's changing her service motion, so it is a little inconsistent. She's trying to hit her service bigger as opposed to just more accurate.
Right.
Because if you're going to dominate in the game, you should be able to get some free points off your serves, and Iga doesn't really get free points off her serves. So they're trying to change all that motion, and so there's going to be a little tweak here and there that needs to be done. Remember, she hasn't also competed in the last round, I think 3 or so events prior to this one. So this is her first tournament after taking a long break and then changing her coach. So there was always going to be, those wrinkles that had to be stretched out. But Iga Swiatek is still Iga Swiatek. If you're not on your game, she can be poor and still beat you. And Coco had to be on her game. Because if there were some rallies that even Coco was like, I thought you were rusty. Why are you returning this ball?
Form is temporary, class is permanent.
Do you understand? Class is permanent. She's like, calm down now. I thought you're going through a moment. Why are you still playing like this? But the thing about Coco Gauff is that she's a fighter. She's also working on her game again. Also, especially her grip change. So she also has some things that need to be tweaked. The difference is that she's been playing in other tournaments, and so it has given her opportunity to tweak it, as opposed to Iga Swiatek that's been doing most of her tweaking in training out of competition. So at the end of the day, it was the player in better form that qualified. So Iga Swiatek is through to the semi-finals. Coco Gauff is through to the semi-finals. She's won her first 2 matches. Iga Swiatek now has to defeat Jessica Pegula. There's a mathematics to it that I'm not getting right, but she has to defeat Jessica Pegula, who's already out of the tournament because she lost her first 2 matches to both Coco Gauff and Krejcikova, and then she has to defeat maybe Jessica Pegula in straight sets, and then hope that Barbara Krejcikova either loses to Coco Gauff or wins in 3 sets. One of those maths is the kind of maths.
This whole thing feels like further
yes,
maths.
because they count number of sets, the number of games you won, number of sets played, all those drama. It's a lot of mathematics. So
I'm not down for that.
So it's not straightforward for Iga, but she has to, if she wants it to be straightforward, she just beats Jessica Pegula in straight sets, and then there will be no need to be adding and subtracting.
Add this to this, add that to that, add that to that, and so on and so forth. Okay, all right, good stuff coming out there. All right. Let's talk about one of the big upsets from yesterday, or should I say one of the brushings that happened yesterday in the Champions League, because it was a brushing. Talking about Sporting Lisbon taking Pep Guardiola and Manchester City to the cleaners. Now, incoming Manchester United boss Ruben Amorim saved one of his greatest sporting victories for his last home game to condemn Manchester City to a third consecutive defeat for the first time since April 2018. Not just three losses in 3 different competitions.
Yeah, and
ridiculous.
So because I was trying to scratch my head, I was like, when was the last time Pep Guardiola lost back to back to back? Everyone was a hit. 6 years ago, and this is almost the end of the 6th year. So it was shocking, and it got worse. The progression of defeats got worse, because remember when they lost midweek, which team was that they lost to?
They lost to Spurs.
When they lost to Spurs, it was a question of, they played young children and they're not in the best place, even if that was not the excuse, but then they went ahead and the loss became worse. They lost to Bournemouth. Of all teams to lose to Bournemouth. And then they lost to Sporting by 4-1.
And they scored first.
In the 4th minute. And then they missed a penalty. I've not seen Erling Haaland miss a penalty before in my life. I don't know what the stats say, but that was the first penalty I've seen Erling Haaland miss. And when he kicked it, I was like, who is that? Because it couldn't have been Erling Haaland. It had no finesse, it had no structure, it was just wild. And so ultimately, Manchester City, if they didn't know they were in trouble before, today they know they're in trouble. And it comes down to a lot of things. Yes, the injuries are a part of the issue, the injuries, yes. However, also the way that Pep Guardiola sets up. Now, Pep Guardiola, even across his teams, I'm not just talking of Manchester City, I'm talking even Bayern Munich and Barcelona. When he sets up a perfect team, there are some things that are too individual specific. And the style is the same. We're going to dominate possession, we're going to hold the ball. But the manner in which chances are often created for Pep Guardiola's teams is always hinged on certain individuals. And so when those individuals are not around,
it doesn't work.
Because even in Bayern, you're just like, when certain individuals are not in the team, they struggle. And you're just like, if the system works, the system works. It shouldn't be that when individuals are not there, some things get missing. And so that's the problem with Pep Guardiola. When he sets up a team, even if the style is kind of the same, hold possession, pass the ball a little bit, play every area of the football pitch as a midfield. Um, some things now come down to the individuals used, which is why sometimes even when they play the most ugly football, they get away with it because they have like a Kevin De Bruyne, they have like a Rodri, to hold the structure.
Just pull it right out of the hat.
But once you take out Rodri or Ruben Diaz, that defense is just express. Because if you saw the goals that came in through, the ball literally just went past the midfield, and the player was one-on-one with the goalkeeper.
That was such a Manchester United thing to happen.
Do you understand? And it was happening to Manchester City. So it's part the injuries, but it also part the way Pep Guardiola sets up his team. All right, so let's go on that quick break. When we come back, I should mention Novak Djokovic is missing the finals because of injury. But when we come back, we'll talk about it. Somebody's asking me if I fix my car. I've not fixed my car. My car needs to be bought. No, I'm not lying. My car I need a brand new car. So if you have money, start to donate. Maybe I should go to BBN. Their fans used to donate car for them.
Money.
I'll go for 1 week because I cannot survive in the house. I'll go for like 1 week.
No, it can suit you now.
No, it can never suit me. Do you know what they do? They actually clean up after themselves. Like they can't have house girl coming in with them. No, I cannot live there.
You build character.
No, my character is already built. I'm old. I said certain things. There are certain things I do not do now. That's why I earn money so that I cannot do domestic chores. I don't earn money to be rich. I just don't want to do any domestic chores.
I mean, basically, earn money to make your life easier.
That's what I do. So I'll go for 1 week. I'll just scatter everywhere, make noise so that I'll be popular. Then they'll now send me home.
I wonder what your fans, what do you call your fans? Tegans?
I don't know. But they will send us home after 1 week.
The Supremes?
And then my fans will now donate and say, she went after 1 week. We'll make sure that she will trend more than the winner. Then they'll now donate plenty money. See dreams. They'll now donate car.
No, but from experience, how much of that 1 week is enough for you to entrench?
No, it will be the way I will fight like this from the minute I enter the house. Somebody will just say good morning. I'll be like, what's good about the money? Are you okay?
That's the thing. You might do all that and they might not evict you.
No, they will evict me. No, this one they will evict me.
Like, this person, she's hot. She's
no,
staying.
If they don't evict me, I will feign mental health issues and evict myself. Then people will now donate for me.
Oh my goodness. I mean, that's a very Nigerian template.
I'm going to BBN. That's where I'll get my new car.
Oh, goodness gracious. What are we going back? Which story are we going back with now?
Let's just come back with the news.
Okay.
With the messages.
Okay. You are most welcome back into the locker room on Smooth 98.1. Your love music, love life, and of course, love sports station as well. 33 minutes past 8 a.m. on a Wednesday morning. Ayokunmi here. Tega also in with me in the studio live and direct. You can join us this morning and share your thoughts with us on WhatsApp on 0809 444 0981. Also, YouTube, we're streaming live there at Smooth 981 FM Lagos. What's going on? You can drop a couple of comments there as well. Let me take some messages on WhatsApp really quick. Tajuddin from Alimosha says, is this about a Nigerian athlete and who, please?
Favour Ofili. We mentioned the name. So remember when Favour Ofili missed the 100 meters because she wasn't registered after she had done the hard work of qualifying. So this is the report, and they mentioned two people. One was directly responsible for not registering her. The other one knew that she wasn't registered and said nothing.
She packed her face.
Plus her, plus the man. Sack them.
Taya says, life comes at you fast. When Haaland was taunting Arteta to be humble, he didn't know his own was coming in full force. Everybody can see Amorim performing well with Sporting Lisbon. He'll now cross the EPL and Amorim out will start trending. I mean,
Manchester United is a curse.
I mean, going from Gyökeres to Xerxes, that's quite a difference, really. Emeka says, Bernardo Silva, after their back-to-back defeat yesterday, said they're currently in a dark place. In my mind, I was like, did our national grid collapse also affect Manchester City?
People are mean.
I've never seen Man City look so vulnerable defensively. As for Madrid, can they return to their last season default settings without Mbappe. Ancelotti out very soon.
You know,
Yeah,
this how we this soldier come, soldier go. You know how it is.
Big Mayor says, "Good morning, people of the locker room. Dynasty Tega. I hope you've okay. Yes, she has answered the question. Coco Golf be giving me joy these days. Straight set win over Schwantek is not an easy feat. City and Madrid at this point seem to be doing Jack and Jill went up the hill rhythm and collab."
Wow, you guys are mean on this place. All right, so let's take some more some more stories, and then we'll come back to the messages.
That's right. Okay, so I'm still talking about the Champions League. Let's talk about Bayern here because they are also in the eye of the storm. The pressure is getting worse for for Vincent Company. And let me just take an excerpt of the story here. Bayern Munich coach Vincent Company said his side sensed the drama after back-to-back defeats in the Champions League ahead of their game against Benfica on Wednesday.
To be another back-to-back. Like Man City. Man City is spreading this thing. This is like Man City flu. They are sharing it to everybody.
Feels like Oprah.
Real Madrid has collected. Now, Bayern Munich looks like they'll collect, but it's a tricky one. And Vincent Company knows they didn't bring you to win the Bundesliga. They'd like to get the Bundesliga back. Because the way they lost it to Bayern Leverkusen last season, it wasn't that they just lost it, but Bayern Leverkusen went unbeaten. What kind of nonsense
they ran away
is that?
With it.
Do you understand? It's embarrassment that if there's an unbeaten, we should be the ones holding it. But it's Leverkusen that's holding it. So never losing, whatever their nickname is. They lost yesterday.
Scandalous.
But we'll talk about that later. But that was it. And so, yes, they'd like to get the Bundesliga back. But Bayern Munich is not a team that is too excited about winning the Bundesliga. They want Europe domination across Europe.
Right.
And so to go to the UEFA Champions League and have back-to-back losses against Aston Villa. Who is that?
The villains.
Last time Aston Villa won. Some people have not been born. I'm not sure we had computers when Aston Villa won the Champions League.
I wasn't born, so I'll
and you understand?
And
I'm not a spring chicken. I'm not a spring chicken. And I wasn't born. So you can imagine how long ago it was. And so for them to lose to Aston Villa, and then get another loss, it's become tougher. And yes, he can say the drama is drama. It's not drama, my dear. Your job is under pressure. And whilst you are at it, just remember that there are managers with longer CV than yours.
Oh, yes.
Who are out of work. And they will replace you in a heartbeat. There are no loyalties here.
Doesn't take long.
We are only loyal to money. If you think I'm lying, ask Edu. Arsenal gave him his career and then gave him his experience. And then he left them for more money. Isn't that what he's working for? He's working for money.
Exactly.
And so Vincent Company should recognize that this is not drama. This is his job that is on the line. And today against the Benfica side, they also need to get a result. After their last outing, it's going to be an interesting one to see. I think on the basis of the individuals playing for Bayern Munich, and because of their build up into this match in the Champions League, that they could pull out, manage to pull off a win. However, because of Vincent Company's inexperience, I will keep my hopes to myself. In fact, I don't even have any more hopes left to be dashed. So
even till now, questions are still being asked as to why he was given the
job. And every time he gives people reason to ask why again.
All right, let's talk about another team that were slapped in the Champions League yesterday, surprisingly, and that is Real Madrid. The Champions League holders fell to a 3-1 home defeat. Yes, they lost at home.
And after they've had a long break. And after they've had a long break, remember?
They didn't play over the weekend.
Yes, they didn't play over the weekend. So they had rested, they had stretched. They should be able to have run a marathon and still had energy to go to an overnight party. But these people yesterday, they were second to almost everything. And the team that they're losing to is not one team that is flying high. It's AC Milan that have their own demons. Fonseca's AC Milan that is struggling, underwater in the Italian Serie A is the AC Milan that could have scored more than even after what they could have been 4 yesterday or 5. the way they were just running
that
through,
bad.
it was that bad.
Away at Madrid.
Away at Madrid. At the Bernabeu. After you build fine stadium, close roof. Did they close roof yesterday?
I don't even know.
Because the last time that they beat it, they closed the
They
roof.
should have opened
So
it.
maybe they should be opening this roof.
So the tears.
So that the tears can be evaporating. But yeah, and it's a tough one to understand why. And you cannot only blame the presence of Mbappe, because the problem is not just that they are not scoring enough goals. They're not even creating enough chances. So this is a Real Madrid side that with every play, they look like a chance was coming out. So that problem starts from the midfield. You can't blame Mbappe, who is up front. You can argue that he's not playing in his favorite position, and he's never going to play in his favorite position as long as Vinicius Jr. is there. It's not possible to remove a guy that is excelling in his position to put you. That is even the position that they put you that you can do tapping. You're not even tapping it. You now want to run and coil the ball. No, if you can't kick straight, how can you coil? And so it's straight. It's a straight one for Ancelotti, and it's going to be a struggle. But that problem is not just a forward problem; it's a midfield problem, which is why defensively and offensively they are struggling. And so it's been a fantastic run for them, and they've had a good one. But with this league system of the Champions League, this league system is going to cause wahala because once you don't make that top 8, anything can happen.
I mean, a two-legged playoff.
Yes, once you don't make that top 8, anything can literally happen. So this league system, even if in the beginning it was looking like it's going to be boring, it's turning out to be serving us, entertainment.
Let's see how it goes. You mentioned earlier, Tega, you talked about Edu earlier, doing what he had to do because, man has to get his money up.
Do you understand?
Mikel Arteta insists that Arsenal's very ambitious vision, they put it in quotes, will continue despite the exit of Edu as the club's sporting director.
The vision that went to buy defender and did not buy striker. And that vision.
Yes.
That one that is not 2020. The one that has that Brazilian that we are still going to test his DNA.
Their defenders are scoring goals.
Okay. So that's why they are buying more defenders, right? And now those defenders are all injured. All right, that vision. I don't know if it's 5'10" because it can't be 2020. Tough one for Arsenal. They're going to face Inter Milan today, and so Edu leaving or not is not an issue that they have to address now. The issue that Mikel Arteta has to address now is how to bounce back from a loss over midweek and shambolic football they've been playing since Odegaard got injured, and whether he's going to rush Odegaard back
like he rushed Saka.
And Saka is built different, but if you rush Odegaard, you will rush him back out. So you may not want to do that. So the questions are, is he going to have to rush Odegaard back to try and get Arsenal the bounce back that they need? How he's going to line up against an Inter Milan side that is a little more expressive. They have Lilian, they just call him Lilian Thuram. Marcus Thuram.
No.
Lilian is the father, I forgive
I forgive you for that.
They have Thuram that likes to run. They have Lautaro that likes to score. They have what's this Italian's name? Oh, he's my favorite person when I live here now.
Bastoni?
No, I remember his name. Fullback, always comes to the front to make the crosses. I remember his name eventually with the blonde hair. He's now blonde. Anyways, they have him that he likes to create those chances and create those crosses. And Arsenal does not really like crosses. Once the ball starts flying across them, they are uncomfortable. So it's a tough one for Mikel Arteta. So Edu leaving is not his problem. Let Edu go and make his money. Edu did not leave Brazil to come and play loyalty to a football club that can fire you anytime. He came here to make money, so he has gone to make his money. But Mikel Arteta now has to focus on Dimarco. Thank you, my favorite person. So Dimarco that likes to run and cross the ball. Thank you. Somebody has already answered for me right there.
I said Dumfries.
No, it wasn't Dumfries. It was Dimarco I was talking about. Dumfries is not blonde now. And so that is the struggle Arsenal has. So today's could be a very important one for Arsenal. Do they just go out and try to get the results so that the results will calm them down, or do they try to go back and get back to being Arsenal? And do they risk starting Odegaard? in a match like this?
Hmm.
Those are the questions Ateta have to answer. Leave Edu for Edu's business.
It's extremely dicey. Extremely dicey.
All right, so we have taken a lot of messages. So the defender we're trying to remember his name was DeMarco. Thank you. It's not Dumfries I was trying to remember it was DeMarco.
That's
All
right.
right. So on that note, let's take your thoughts on your thoughts that you've sent him earlier. Tayo, thank you, was not Dumfries. All right. So let's see. No, let's start from YouTube and
Okay,
see what
from YouTube, let's see
Chimaobi
here.
says.
Chimaobi Victor says, I don't see Benfica hurting Bayern Munich as affliction will not rise the second time. While Real Madrid and Man City just decided to send some people to their village. I pity Mbappe. Digi says, glad with the Olympic outcome. There should be accountability. What if that simple omission could have cost the athlete her life? Punish those who abuse official power. Compensate the athletes. Biko. Big Mayor says United should also know that Amorim is leaving behind Gyökeres to come coach Xerxes. We do wait for the banter galore. Big Mayor, be careful.
Amorim has defeated Pep Guardiola small. So maybe when Manchester United faces Man City, we may look forward to something. Let's be hopeful.
Perhaps.
Let's be hopeful.
Adenike says the analysis this morning reminds me of. Okay, hold on. Reminds you of one of the songs, Under Pressure, Under Pressure. Nigerian big clubs under pressure. I hear you. Esquire says, in this UCL league, everyone is playing against everyone else. I love it.
I love it.
AY from Eniru says, Sporting Lisbon's number 9 Gyökeres was sensational last night, scoring a brace. Scored a hat-trick to give his team a shock victory over Man City in the UCL, and was yet another humbling night for Real Madrid as AC Milan gave them a second consecutive defeat in style.
All right. We've run through all the messages and we've run out of time. So I want to thank you for streaming on YouTube. I want to thank you for sending your messages on YouTube via WhatsApp, and for tuning into Smooth 98.1 FM to listen to us. Till I come your way again on Friday, pray that your team is not filled up for banter. All right, Gunners, you've heard me.
All right, thank you, Tega, for coming through as always, and thank you for being a part of the locker room on Smooth 98.1. Keep it tuned. 9 o'clock, Lagos will get talking on Lagos Talks.
Should I press stop?